All rise for the Philippine National Anthem. Please take your seats. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for coming today for a very special occasion. Before we start, I would like to invite everyone to our upcoming events. Overseas voting registration is currently ongoing until September 30, 2024. Please register if you want to have a say in your country's future, and your registration will not only allow you to vote for next year's local elections, but also the exciting presidential elections in the following years. March 26, 2024, in our continuing celebration of National Women's Month, we will be having a workshop entitled Sana Oil, Herb-Infused Oil Making for Wellness, here at the Philippine Consul General Community Hall. Learn the craft of scented oil making and make your own personalized, specialized herb-infused oil. April 19 will have an investment and tax briefing and a book launch of the Why Invest in the Philippines. April is also Filipino Food Month and Filipino American Restaurant Month. We will be featuring various Filipino dishes and highlight Filipino American restaurants for the entire month. This July, in partnership with the Department of Tourism, we also have our yearly VIP tour. This year, our VIPs will be visiting Manila, Bacolod, Cagayan de Oro, and Bukidnon. So if you haven't already, please sign up to our VIP tour this year. To start us off, I would like to call on Deputy Consul General Maria Alni Gamble for her welcome remarks.
Before I proceed, may I please invite everyone to put their mobile phones on silent so that the Consul General will not be disturbed while he is delivering his speech later on. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Community Hall of the Philippine Consulate General here in Los Angeles, where for the last 3 years, Consul General Edgar B Badajos has been hosting numerous events and activities for the community at large. Tonight's event is bittersweet, as this is his last Kapihan. As our community's foremost leader, Consul General Badajos has used his position and office through the Kapihan sa Konsulado and other formats to reach out to the community and discuss a myriad of topics and issues, the most important of which is the call for unity and support on projects that benefit the community and our fellow Filipinos, whether here or in the Philippines. We know that Congen is well loved for his care and attention for the community, and because no event or activity is too small to merit his appearance and presence. As our boss in the consulate, he set a high standard for us to follow. So even though we will have a new leader in the near future, we will still maintain this standard that he has set for us. Ladies and gentlemen, for his valedictory, please give a warm welcome to Consul General Edgar B.
Maraming salamat, Consul Alni Gamble. The Department of Foreign Affairs actually has not yet identified who my successor will be, but I have taken the liberty of recommending Deputy Consul General. And we hope that the DFA will consider my recommendation, but it all depends on a lot of factors and who the final choice will be. Whoever will be my successor, I hope that you will extend to me, him or her, the same level of support and cooperation, if not more, that you have given to me and my team. So, mga kababayan, good evening. It's really a bittersweet thing that we are doing this because usually it's me who's attending events to send off somebody or to induct people or to ground some people. Yeah, we have attended a wide range of events in Los Angeles. You can name it. All kinds of coronation we have attended from all ages. But tonight is different because I'm the one that you're sending away. And the good attendance, I think, is one way of making sure that really Conjan Badajos says his goodbye and that he will leave finally. Because I remember having attended also a farewell event that was given to me a Pakla, and many of you were able to attend it. But after that event, you would still see me around. Marami nagtataka, ano ba to? Uwi mo, hindi. Now there's another invitation to the consulate, farewell edition daw ng Kapihan. So let's go and make sure that this time he goes away. Thank you for coming. Thank you. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the farewell edition of the Consulado, Kapihan sa Konsulado. Kapihan not in the sense that this will be the last Kapihan that the consulate will be hosting, but farewell in the sense that this will be my last Kapihan during my watch as your Consul General here in Los Angeles. I also felt that I could not just end our relationship by just going away, disappearing from your environment. I have to do it properly, and I think the best way to really bid goodbye to you is to hold this Kapihan, so that I can make a final report to you, a full accounting of what it is that we have done during my 3 years as your Consul General. Rest assured that I was not here just to attend social events. There were just so many. I was asking some friends how many weeks are there in a year, and they'll tell me there are 52. The answer to the question, how many events are there in a year for the Philippines? It's not 52. It's probably 1,000, even more. Because you have events every week, not just one or two, but even more. And that is what has been our preoccupation since we arrived here in April 2021. So at this Kapihan, I will be doing two things and be prepared to either be bored or be excited at what I'm going to report to you. The first part of my presentation is going to be, as I said, a full accounting of our accomplishments for the last 3 years of my work here as your Consul General. And the second part of my presentation is to talk about the Bagong Pilipinas brand of governance of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. My presentation will be very short. Don't worry about that. I know that many of you came from far and wide, tired and hungry. So you're looking at me as the only one that's standing between you and the food. So, my report on our accomplishments. I'm pleased to report the following. Number one, in October 2023, after months of planning, including a lot of back and forth between the Philippine and the US governments, we finally opened a Philippine honorary consulate in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we were able to immediately appoint an honorary consul in the person of Miss Amy Balmonte, as the first holder of that exalted position. The Filipino community in Southern Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, waited more than 70 years for a Philippine honorary consulate to be opened in that part of the world. But I don't know what the priorities of my predecessor were or what they were thinking, but to me, one thing was certain. Our fellow Filipinos in that part of the US would have to travel all the way from Las Vegas and other parts of Southern Nevada just to come here, the Philippine Consulate of Wilshire Boulevard, to have some of their documents authenticated and or notarized by the Philippine Consulate. I said to myself, when I visited Las Vegas for the very first time in April 2021, this has got to end. We have to end suffering fellow Filipinos. We have to establish a Philippine honorary consulate here so that never again will they have to travel to Los Angeles to have just to have some of their documents notarized. So that began in October of last year. Second, we have secured the approval of both the US and the Philippine government to also open a Philippine honorary consulate in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, although the position of honorary consul in Phoenix remains unfilled to this day because of certain technicalities, the fact remains that we have overcome the long and tedious process of approvals by both the Philippine and the US governments. All it takes for my successor, whether it's going to be Deputy Consul Andy Gamble or somebody else, all it takes for them, all that they need to do is fill up the position and appoint somebody who's really qualified to hold that exalted position. And once the honorary consulate office in Phoenix is operational, it will also save hundreds, if not thousands, of our fellow Filipinos and Philippines from the trouble of having to commute from Phoenix to other parts of Arizona to Los Angeles and back just to avail themselves of consular services. Third, not many of you are probably aware, but since the second half of 2022, we have actually established an off-site passport renewal center along Wilshire Boulevard, somewhere in Beverly Hills. So today, Filipinos who would like to apply for passports, they have a choice of whether to apply here in the Philippine Consulate or go to our off-site renewal center somewhere in Beverly Hills. You now have an option. This was motivated by the pandemic because we started planning for this project towards the tail end of the pandemic period because we realized that many of you were having difficulty getting appointments to come here at the consulate for your passport application. So we now have that off-site passport renewal center. Fourth, the establishment of Emporium in March 2022. For those of you who are not aware of it, Emporium was our brainchild. First opened in March 2022, the Emporium is both a physical, it occupies a space at the office of the Philippine Trade and Investment Center in Los Angeles, and a virtual space that promotes Philippine-made products, services, and investments in the US through an interactive showroom. Run by Philams from the private sector, led by our good friend, Mr. Ferdinand Soriano, is here. I don't think Ferdinand is here. It now serves as a business center and hub where buyers and sources can converge to test the market, learn about exporting and sourcing between Philippines and the US, and create a network for Filipino and Filipino American small and medium enterprises. And fifth and last, implementation of an e-payment system for all consular services starting on March 5, 2024. Now, before this date, mga kababayan, your consulate only accepted cash payments, making it difficult for many of you to transact business with us because I know that in the US, you all live on plastics. You're not used to paying cash. So I said, let's end this Jurassic practice. So on March 5, we ended this cash-only mode of payment in partnership with a private company, a Vietnam company. So now, if you come to the consulate to apply for dual citizenship or apply for passport, you can now use your Visa or MasterCard or some other credit card. We now accept it. But if you insist in paying with cash, you are more than welcome to do so. Now, in between these major accomplishments, mga kababayan, the consulate has successfully facilitated and or undertaken numerous community programs that have strengthened our relationship with you and your ties with our motherland. Among these programs was our highly successful Philippine Independence Day celebration in June of last year, the highly successful visit of President Ferdinand Marcos to Los Angeles in November of last year, and numerous public fora and webinars to inform the public or expand their knowledge about major political, economic, and other social developments back home. I remember one webinar where we partnered with NAFA GLA. We talked about the Philippine real estate amnesty, tax amnesty law. In another seminar, we partnered with a group of Perla here, Mother, talking about the self-care in the workplace. We also partnered with a caregivers group talking about the rights and privileges of caregivers in the US. We have an ongoing partnership with the Philippine Nurses Association of Southern California that allows them to set up a table here at the consulate every quarter, offering free blood screening and offering free basic medical advice to consular clients while waiting to be served. And of course, we regularly hold financial literacy seminars to help you better manage your finances and wealth for a better and more secure financial future. Now, apart from these community programs, we also continue to provide unwavering support to our kababayans through our regular consular services, annual consular outreach programs, and assistance to national services. Last year alone, mga kababayan, the consulate processed a total of 46,700 consular documents. Now you may wonder, how is it possible? Because there are only about 36 of us working here at the consulate, for a ratio of one consulate personnel to 50,000 Filipinos. Because you have to understand, the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles presides over the largest Filipino diaspora, not just in the US, but outside the Philippines. And these 1.3 to 1.4 million Filipinos who are in our jurisdiction would like to be served, not today, but yesterday. They're all in a hurry to get their documents processed by the consulate. For some reason, we are able to serve everyone. And everybody just happens to be in the consulate. Thank you very much. Also in 2023, the Consulate General rendered more than 5,000 assistance to nationals related services. Now you may wonder, what is this assistance to nationals related services? You know, at the consulate, we perform three major functions. One is consular. That's where we process your passport applications, notarize your documents, and many other consular functions. Two is we do commercial functions, and that is where we engage with business groups, both private and public. And the third one is to provide assistance to nationals, meaning providing financial assistance, legal assistance to our fellow Filipinos who are in emergency situations. And last year, through our recommendation, the DFA, meaning the Department of Foreign Affairs, disbursed a total of $43,000 for the benefit of some 930 beneficiaries. Some of these funds, ladies and gentlemen, were used to help repatriate the human remains of some of our deceased Filipino nationals. May mga kababayan tayo na namamatayan dito, or sa Pilipinas, meron siyang kamag-anakan dito na namamatay. And for some reason, they cannot afford the cost of shipping the remains of their dead relative. And so what do? They come to the consulate seeking our assistance. So what do? In return? We request funding from the Philippines and we justify why we need to disperse funds to this or that family. And we were able to repatriate a lot of our fellow Filipinos who passed away here in the US. We spend those amounts without expecting any reimbursement from the families concerned. And that is probably one function or one service that only the Philippine government, among all governments in the world, does for its own nationals. No government, other government does it. I remember when I was in Saudi Arabia, because before coming here in April 2021, that was the height of the pandemic, we were repatriating, many countries were repatriating their own nationals from Saudi back to their own home countries. The Philippine government chartered 7 full plane loads, repatriating our own nationals back to the Philippines. Other governments also did that, but their own nationals had to pay for their own plane tickets. Tayo hindi tayo nalagyan. not even a single centavo. My own son, who was with me in Saudi Arabia, needed to return to the US. The height of the pandemic, it was very difficult to get a booking, much less to get a plane ticket. Fortunately, we got one for him. It was so expensive, $7,000. Just one way, and then we couldn't. We had to pay for it. If he were a Filipino still at that time, the Philippine government would have paid for his plane ticket. That's the big difference. That is why, if you are still thinking of reacquiring your dual citizenship, do not hesitate anymore. Apply tomorrow. So these are our major accomplishments for the last 3 years. We say bakit ang konti? Because we are not going to count anymore our usual consular services here. They're just too many. If you will include the many events that we attend here in our community, there are just so many. Sabi ko nga, kulang yung isang linggo para mapuntahan namin lahat yan. There are only 5 of us here as officers versus how many events in one weekend. Dami eh. So now, moving now to the second portion of my report, which is Bagong Pilipinas, the brand of governance of the Marcos administration. This brand of governance represents a new era of governance focused on fostering a culture of innovation, supporting local enterprises, promoting education for all, and ensuring healthcare accessibility. These initiatives, fellow Filipinos, friends, are part of a broader strategy to build a bagong Pilipinas, a new Philippines that is adaptive, competitive, and capable of facing the challenges of the 21st century. The core principles of Bagong Pilipinas revolve around inclusivity, transparency, and innovation. In pursuit of these principles, the Marcos administration has either adopted or implemented numerous ambitious economic programs to propel the country towards a more inclusive and sustainable future. Today, ladies and gentlemen, mga kababayan, the Philippine economy shines as the brightest spot in the fastest growing region in the world, which is Asia. If you are looking for specifics, please allow me to share some of the highlights of the President's message to officials of the World Economic Forum, or WEF, during a WEF country roundtable in the Philippines held only recently in Malacanang. And these are as follows. The Philippines ended 2023 with the highest GDP growth in all of Asia for ASEAN, including China. Meeting and exceeding the expectations of major multilateral organizations such as the IMF, ASEAN Plus 3 Macroeconomic Research Office, and the World Bank. The country's growth performance was largely driven by the resiliency of domestic demand, which is an impressive feat against the backdrop of elevated prices and overlapping prices in a global market. Investments, particularly in durable equipment and public construction, emerged as a key driver of the country's full-year growth. Recognizing that investment-led growth required the right policy thrust and priorities, the President and his economic team formulated a vigorous plan for boosting infrastructure development that featured cross-cutting strategies for enhanced efficiency to reduce operational costs and avoid hostile delays. To fast-track the rollout of infrastructure projects, the President and his economic team have prioritized a pre-selected list of 185 infrastructure flagship projects worth over 9 trillion pesos, or the equivalent of US dollars 163 billion. These projects, which offer high rates of return and enjoy streamlined processes, target strategically important sectors for sustainable development such as physical and digital connectivity, agriculture, energy, health, and climate resilient infrastructure. As of today, more than half of these projects are either already ongoing or approved for implementation, while around a quarter are seen to be financed through the Public-Private Partnership Program, or PPP. At the same time, the Marcos administration continues to focus its policies on galvanizing foreign investments to generate a broadly beneficial investment boom. The country's economic liberalization measures signal the dawn of a new era for investments in the Philippines. Now, mga kababayan, international firms are welcome to invest in a wide range of high-impact sectors, from joint ventures with Filipinos or even fully owned domestic enterprises and select renewable energy projects. I would like to see Mr. Kurt Don Beard here be part of this investment program of the Philippine government, because Don and his company would like to bring in technology that would convert plastic waste materials into durable, long-lasting, and environmentally friendly construction materials. We hope you success. Investors can now also count on expedited processes and improved ease of doing business with the newly established green lanes for strategic investments. The Philippine government has also reformed the country's corporate income tax structure and built fiscal incentive system to attract investments in strategically important industries. The Marcos administration has also established the Philippines' first ever sovereign investment fund. Have you heard of it? The Maharlika Investment Fund, to channel capital toward productivity enhancing sectors. This fund is designed to serve as a magnet for equity financing from abroad and a vehicle for driving long-term growth without compromising efforts towards fiscal consolidation. Furthermore, the Philippines is actively fortifying trade and economic ties across the region to promote inclusive cooperation in a time of geoeconomic fragmentation. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity will establish a high standard commitment that will deepen economic engagement across the region. So clearly, ladies and gentlemen, mga kababayan, based on this report of President Marcos, the Philippines is in a prime position to enter into a sustained period of robust economic expansion over the next couple of years. In the spirit of our Kapihan sa Konsulado, let me invite your attention to a pivotal aspect of our nation's growth, which is about local investments. As your Consul General, I have observed that many of you here are just so wealthy. Bakit tumatawa sila? Ayaw yata maniwala. I have observed the powerful influence of the Filipino diaspora, now averaging $37 billion annually, with most of this money still coming from the US, from you, from your community. Your remittances have undoubtedly been instrumental in attaining a higher level of economic growth for the country, but there is an untapped potential in local investments, as demonstrated recently by the visit of the Metro Manila Council mayors and the visit of Governor Matthew Manotoc of Ilocos Norte only a few days ago. By channeling funds into our own enterprises, we not only bolster economic resilience, but also create jobs and foster innovation at home. The ethos of Bagong Pilipinas under President Ferdinand Marcos aligns with this initiative. It calls upon us to invest in our country's future, ensuring that growth is not just robust, but also widespread and inclusive. I urge each one of you, especially those who are awash with cash, who have surplus money, invest in the Philippines. To consider how your investments can make a direct impact on our homeland's prosperity. This early, I would already thank you for your commitment to our nation's progress. Ladies and gentlemen, mga kababayan, with Bagong Pilipinas, the President and his administration are aiming for a participative, accountable, and forward-looking government, one where every Filipino citizen, where each one of you is as important as the government official or the government itself. Bagong Pilipinas is not asking you that you take up all the work because we know that you're all so busy here. It is only asking you that you work with the government, that you support our government. It is not just asking you to be better private citizens. It is telling you that with this government, this new government, you can be better, if not the best citizens, Filipino citizens that you can be. It is not just showing you what the government aims to accomplish, but rather what and how we can accomplish these things together as one nation, as one people. So, Bagong Pilipinas, mga kababayan, is a call for transformation. The transformation of what it is to be Filipino or the idea of what a Filipino is. As individuals and as a people, it is a call for transformation on how we see ourselves in the world and how we present ourselves to the world. As a country, it is a call for transformation of our economy, governance, and society. I've already said this in many of our previous appearances, that although we are the officially designated representatives of our country in this part of the world, or of the United States, every Filipino actually, wherever that Filipino is an informal ambassador of Filipino culture. And therefore, it is our plea that wherever you are, whatever you do, whatever you say, you will have to be in your best selves, so that you only present the best facet of what it is to be Filipino. And I know that you will rise to the challenge. Therefore, I call on all of you here to join in this covenant for partnership, transformation, and excellence, so that we can succeed individually and as a nation. Mga kababayan, let me end with a note on the friendships that we have forged with you in the course of my term as your Consul General. These friendships, both personal and professional, have not only been fundamental to nation building, but have also served as the cornerstone upon which the Philippine Consulate has anchored its efforts. These relationships, these friendships, have significantly facilitated our work at the consulate in providing services to the largest Filipino diaspora in the US and outside the Philippines. These connections, mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, underscore the importance of trust and mutual understanding in fostering a supportive environment for the community. It is my fervent hope that our close connections will extend beyond May 3, which is when I depart for the Philippines, and that you will extend the same level of support and cooperation, if not more, to my successor, whoever it will be. With that said, I would like to request everyone to please rise. To join me as I raise my glass in a heartfelt farewell toast to the vibrant Filipino community in Los Angeles. May your health and prosperity flourish. To the consulate, may your work continue to be fruitful. And to the Philippines, our Bagong Pilipinas, our only motherland, may your journey be one of relentless progress and growth. Mabuhay! Mabuhay ang Pilipino, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. We can now take your seats. Probably before we formally conclude our Kapihan, what we can do to make it really interactive is to take a few comments or questions from the floor. But in the interest of time, we will limit it to only one. Just we can take a few questions or comments from the floor. Anyone? Anyone like to comment or raise any question? Wala? Were you all happy with the presentation?
Congratulations for your accomplishments. The consulate, honorary consulate in Las Vegas and Arizona is the first, and it's because of you. Thank you very much.
Cheers to that. Cheers. Anyone else?
Just want to say thank you.
Go on.
Thank you for helping out in us trying to do something in the Philippines. I've never met a guy that had so many people that you know personally and come up to, and they treat you like an old friend. And it's been amazing just watching you work over the last couple of years. So I'm really pleased that I've gotten to know you, and I'm really sorry you're leaving.
Wait, see, Lisa. And then,
And perhaps the community, thank you, Congress. Is there any chance that you're coming back? Yes, for capturing our hearts in so short time.
There's only one way, and that is to serve in another capacity, because I cannot come back here as your consul general. That's against the regulation. So the only way for me to come back is to return as an ambassador. But you know, the U.S. is the U.S. It's really a big post, and we have to respect the decision of the president to hold to that to as an ambassador to the United States. Thank you. Relax.
Thank you for the privilege and opportunity to be here. And sir, I'd like to personally thank you for supporting our family caregiver support group advocacy. And on that note, you have given us a lot of encouragement and motivation. For that, sir, would you continue to be on our consultative
Just
advisor?
an email away. I'll be in Manila for the next 2 years. You can always send an email to me. So I'll be departing from Manila on May 3. Please do not come to send me off because I will certainly cry. I'll be in the home office for 1 or 2 years before my next foreign assignment. I don't know where it's going to be. Because as I said, we are like soldiers or priests. We get assigned from place to place every so often. Handling major office will be okay. If you happen to visit Manila within the next 1 or 2 years, feel free to drop by. I'll give you a treat at the nearest branch. Okay, yes sir.
Yeah, on behalf of the University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Greater Los Angeles, we would like to thank you for your 3 years of support for the association. You've always been in our events. You're probably in 1-5 and you're being split into 5 different ways. But you always attend our events, and thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, sir.
Hi, Conjay. My name is Peng. I'm probably the only non-Filipino or American here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm representing the Philippine Military Academy alumni.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a testimony on you.
Oh, I hope it's good. I'm scared.
3 years ago, when you first came, we actually have a list of about 150 names consisting of Filipinos who are seeking services here for all the consulate application, passport, dual citizenship, authorization, and so on and so forth. They came here because they couldn't get appointments online.
Right.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
The only way they could get an appointment is to engage a third party where they have to pay an amount of money in order for them to get the services done. So I came here 3 years ago with a list of about 162 names who wants to have their consulate services done.
Was that after April 21? Or
Yes, sir.
before? Because I arrived in April.
After you arrive,
After I arrived, I cannot escape.
yeah. So last December, I did a check with all 162 of them. All of them has gotten their things done. Not because they paid for a small amount of money to a third party person, but they got it done actually within the 1.5 year period after you came. So I would like to testify that your office has actually done a wonderful job. Why? Number one, that was during the COVID period.
Yeah.
Number two, people were traveling from Las Vegas,
Yeah.
people was traveling from Arizona. And these are not just people who are just beside
Yeah.
half an hour drive
Correct. Yeah.
from here. So I've seen your progress, I've seen the work that you've done. I would like to give you a big thumbs up.
Thank you very much.
I will vote for you if you were to ever come back as the next ambassador in
Thank you very much.
Washington. Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service.
Happy to hear
to the
that
Filipino
all
people.
those of your race are serving by the Philippines. Linda, Kapihan, Linda si Acela, right?
Sir, we would like to thank for having with us here in the US. And we miss you. We will miss you, especially your voice.
Are you
Singing voice.
insinuating that I will have to sing?
For like black songs.
You have to pressure me because I came prepared. Si Linda.
As part of Kapihan Inc., past president, it was a pleasure to work with you, especially last year during the PID time. And you're always there to support the Kapihan. So thank you. You're really a down-to-earth person. Thank you so much.
Si Linda is from Cavite. Sino Cavite? Mas matatapang. Pag may event na kasama si Linda, I really have to attend. Especially when she was president of Kapihan. Just a joke. Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm Russell Viloria, in behalf of the Southern California Mapo alumni. We would like to thank you for your services to the Filipino community and to the organizations. And wish you good luck and best wishes. And also, God bless you.
Maraming salamat. And Henry?
Good evening, Conjen. In behalf of Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Greater LA and the Asian Real Estate Association, we really want to thank you as you are so supportive. Because of your support, we were encouraged to even work harder. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Si Fred, si Michelle, then Fred. Michelle, no, si Michelle.
Hi, Conjen. On behalf of Philippine Airlines, we'd like to thank you for the assistance you've given us, especially during the time that we were rallying about the gate at the airport.
Yeah.
And during COVID time, you opened your office for the Philippines who needed help with the dual citizenship. Thank you very much, and good luck on your next time.
Maybe for those who are not familiar with the issue mentioned by Michelle, there was a time when LAX was going to move the gate assigned to Philippine Airlines to Anguilla Gate, which will make it quite difficult for seniors to walk from the curb all the way to the embarkation gate. And we fought to them in so that this will not happen. But things are what they are. So we were not quite successful, but we were doing everything we can, really convince the LAX to keep us where we were at that time. Yeah. And then yes, Bakersfield. Yeah.
My name is Jude Rivera, and I'm the president of the Filipino community of
You can
Bakersfield.
do. Yeah.
is the only Consul General that came to Bakersfield on the outfits.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
And I was so happy when you said, oh, I want to come to Bakersfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for that, I would like to thank you for helping all the Filipino community members and officers.
Thank you very much. So, Manny, si Fred, then Manny.
Mabuhay. Conjen, I'd like to echo what everybody else that spoke before me has relayed. Thank you so much on behalf of all my company and our organizations, Boy Credit Union, Philippine Independence Day Foundation, Filipino Young Leaders Program, the City of Carson, for the work that you and the rest of the team has done these past several years. And I would like to highlight something that you mentioned earlier, that it's the friendship and the relationships that really puts things over the edge. And that's something that I really respect about you, because you have the ability to connect with everybody. There's probably not going to be too many dry eyes when you leave. And you know, it's a joy to see when people are able to relate on a personal level, which highlights, you know, the relationships that we Filipinos, the hospitality, the friendship, and everything else that we're known for, and you are a true ambassador of that. So maraming salamat sa buhay.
We're down to our last two, maybe.
Hello, Conjen. There's a popular cliche that goes, the trouble with hello is goodbye. But on top of that, you have successfully achieved all your goals here in Los Angeles. But not only those, you also succeed in capturing the heart of Los Angelenos, not through your singing charisma, but the way you treat everybody are all the same. And on behalf of our group, I would like to thank you for spending time with Los Angeles, and we wish you good luck with your next endeavor, and wherever you are, we are still here. You can come back play and talk with us. So we are not only totally cutting our connection with you. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
And last two, Cora and then si Cathy. O sige, dagdag si Lena. Si Gloria muna. Gloria, then Cathy, then Lena.
I have a group of 150, and hindi kami lahat nagpunta. Hindi kami nagpunta. Thank you, Consul, sa lahat ng mga mo dito. We love you.
Okay, Cathy, then Lena. Cathy. Si Cathy, aming kapartner sa free blood screening program ng Philippine Consulate.
Yeah, so talking about relationship, we have a very healthy, caring relationship because you allowed us to be here and occupy space and promote health and wellness to our Kababayans. Our partnership has been very fruitful and it's something that will stay in our hearts because being here once a month and serving our Kababayans, just knowing their health issues that they're not able to share with their providers, their health issues that they're not able to share with their families, but they share it with us. And as our sharing our nursing expertise in our profession, we were so glad that we are able to help in that way. Because that's one of our goals in the Philippine Nurse Association of Southern California is to promote health and to serve our Kababayans in any aspect of our society and in anywhere. But it just made us feel more proud that we are serving here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cathy.
Hi, I'm Lynn Tito, and on behalf of the Filipino American Community Los Angeles, we want to acknowledge your leadership and all the things that you have accomplished, like functions of the services of this consulate. The community, everyone here respects him and is a good singer.
And finally, yes. Okay.
On behalf of Althea,
Kapihan.
Los Angeles County Filipino American Employee Association, for all county workers, we're about 600 in our association. We would like to thank you for supporting our association and showing up to every event of Althea. Wow, thank you.
Just a clarification, I attend so many events not because I want people, but because that's my way of listening to you on the ground. To get to know the things that you need from us to further improve our services, and also a way of relaxation, because I know that you need this kind of activity. You are working so hard here in America. America is all about work, work, work. And I will not take it against you. You have 4 or 5 parties in one weekend. Because that's the way to unwind, right? Because otherwise you will grow so fast if you don't do that. That is why we need Pinas here to do blood screening procedure and also your blood sugar. And we need all those dancing and singing. Forget about our problem. Yeah, Linda.
Good evening. I'm Linda. I'm representing Kalayaan Incorporated. We would like to thank the Philippine government for giving us the singing content, the only singing content with a golden heart. And I will attest to you that is that away only. You always answer your message. Thank you, content.
Yeah, thank you. Here, good singer is because of the team. That's with the let me take this opportunity to call my fellow officers here, and as I call the unit please twice so that you can also be acknowledged. So that when I'm no longer here, they will know who to run after. Okay, just kidding. So my Deputy Consul General is Consul my consul in charge of our economic and political section, Consul General. Our consul in charge of community relations and cultural matters, Consul MC Cheng. Our other consuls, Consul Levi Mananay, he's in charge of our assistance to national security. If Levi looks like a K-pop singer, it's because he was in a past life. So he said it's not profitable being a singer. So that's Levi. So if you need assistance in repatriating your a deceased relative or a friend that you know whose relative has passed away and they're in need of funds, if you need a fellow Filipino who is in jail who wants some visit or is in need of legal assistance or counsel, you can approach Consul Levy. If you need assistance, just one-time assistance for those, especially in Arizona, we are seeing so many cases there of our fellow Filipinos who are being abused by their spouses. Uso doon ang domestic spouse abuse. It must be the weather. Ang init kasi doon eh. Maraming spousal abuse doon. So we're seeing a lot of cases there. So we provide one-time assistance, financial assistance. Final check, in the amount is a victim of hate crime last year. Not again not a big amount, but at least something to help you get by. So muli, let me wrap up my presentation by thanking all of you. As I said, everything should proceed from the kind of relationship that you have with the community. If you have the community with you, it's just like coasting, because they are the fuel that makes you, that inspires you each and every day to make sure that everything that you have set out to accomplish, not just for yourself, but for the community and for the Philippines in general, will be done. So maraming salamat until we meet again. Thank you.
Group picture din tayo. Dyan natin or those at the back, you come closer again. Those who are standing up, but our photo will be taken from there. So you don't need to move if you have a good seat, okay?
People at the back, you can actually occupy the aisle so that you will be seen. People at the back po, you can come here. Ay, dito sa aisle. Dito sa
Thank you.
Isa pa po, sorry pa.
Thank you everyone for coming. Galing sa Kapihan sa Konsulado. Yung food and drinks at the back. Please help yourselves. Maraming salamat po sa pagkala.
Magpapakilala ko kayo. UN